Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash entitled people. In today's episode, Karen demands shopper dress more appropriately. I took over care of my brother's dog years ago, and he still treats the dog like he owns her. My ex-friend won't stop slandering me and destroying friendships. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Karen demands shopper dress more appropriately. This happened this morning between 9 and 10 a.m. I went to the supermarket to grab a few things for lunch and dinner. It's early and slow, so the store only had the self-checkout and one register open. As got to the register, I see a young woman, early 20s, with a sleeping baby in her arms and a basket with formula, diapers, over-the-counter baby items for diaper rash, and several prescriptions that were paid for at the pharmacy. The girl gets to the register before me, and then I saw the rampaging Karen come out of the aisle right in front of me. I knew there'd be trouble from the oversized sunglasses, Karen haircut, yoga pants 3 sizes smaller than they should have been, that I'll bet had never seen the inside of a gym or yoga studio, and the very low-cut top that showed off a lot of skin that no one I knew wanted to see. She has maybe a dozen items in her cart. With the global situation, the clerk, the 20-something, and I are wearing the required mask, but of course, Karen can't be bothered. The store has markings on the floor for social distancing, but of course, that doesn't apply to the wild Karen. The young mother is holding the sleeping baby and trying to fish her wallet out of her small purse, while also holding the diaper bag and usual baby accessories. The cashier hadn't even finished ringing the girl up when the wild Karen started in a loud voice complaining about unprepared shoppers not even having their money ready. Karen's card is almost touching the 20-something's leg. Naturally, Karen's complaint at full volume had the unfortunate effect of waking the sleeping infant, who registered his displeasure by letting anyone within hearing know. The mother was attempting to calm the infant and still get her wallet out of her purse. The fact that Karen had to wait and now had to listen to the infant she woke up caused another nasty tirade. I'm in line behind Karen at this point, and then she gets on my last nerve. She's been breathing the cashier war not being fast enough, and then God only knows what lack of brain cells caused her to do this, but snaps at the young mother that she should make that brat be quiet, and then decided to attack the girl, snapping that if she didn't dress like it SL*T, she wouldn't have gotten knocked up. Since it was obvious that her jeans were too tight, as was her top. She had a baby a couple of months before. The young mother was beet red. The cashier was in shock. The infant, not liking the noise, was letting it be known that he wasn't happy, and Karen had gotten on my last nerve, and being old, sick, and in a bad mood, and with worse temper, I let loose. I slipped up past Karen and tossed my card to the cashier and told her the young lady's bill is on me. That got Karen to start again, only for me to loudly say, "Shut up. I'm as tired of your mouth as the little man is." That stunned Karen, who only sputters. The young mother thanked me and gave the infant her full attention. Ken is fuming and starts heaving her items onto the belt, but apparently, her mouth recovered before her brain. As soon as the cashier finished ringing her up and asked for payment, Karen turned towards me and sneered, "Well, aren't you going to pay for mine as well?" I was done and with her and responded, "No, I don't like people who wake up sleeping infants with their big mouths." She huffed and stormed out. I was hoping for an "I demand to speak to the manager" but you can't have everything. I headed to my car and was pulling out of the parking lot when I saw the young mother sitting at the bus stop holding the infant. Buses out where I live run every hour, so I decided to offer her a ride. Turns out she lived only a couple miles away, under 5 minutes by car, but a couple of hours on foot, carrying a baby and supplies. She took the risk that I was an axe murderer since I snapped Karen's tirade. I learned that she and her husband were new to the area, move in for his job. I asked her about the little man and learned that as her husband got paid, they bought more of the stuff the baby needed, but right now they were making do with what they had. I wrote an address down and told her that if her husband was off Saturday, she should have him bring them to the address for a yard sale with tons of baby stuff my niece was getting rid of, as she's had all the babies she's having, and she has everything an infant could need. She told me that she'd do that and thanked me again for everything. I dropped them off and made it home, and gave my niece a call describing the girl and infant and telling her to give the couple anything they liked and I cover whatever they couldn't afford. I like babies and have no tolerance for Karens. How dare anyone be in front of her or not dress according to your standards? Random internet stranger high five. You should have commented on her clothing since she thinks it's okay to comment on others. Maybe you'd have a man if your sausage casing didn't look like it was about to split at the seams. My faith in humanity has been restored. I'm not crying. There's something in my eye. I took over care of my brother's dog years ago, and he still treats the dog like he owns her. I started taking care of my brother's dog a couple years ago, and he still treats it like his own dog when he's around. I'm 41, and my brother is 50. A few years ago, he moved from an acreage outside of the city to an apartment downtown. He asked me if I could take care of his dog since his apartment is a terrible place for a dog to be, especially moving from a house with a large yard to a small apartment in a high-rise. Anyways, I agree, and I now consider this dog to be my own, since it's been 3 years and my brother has seen it a total of 7 to 8 times. My brother also doesn't send money for food or anything and rarely even asks about her. Since I have had her, I've noticed that anytime my dog is whipped cream, she has uncontrollable diarrhea afterwards, and it gets all over my place. This kinda sucks because she loves whipped cream, but obviously it's not good for her, so she hasn't had it really since she's been with me. So I have my brother and his wife over for dinner last week, and I tell them very explicitly, do not feed her whipped cream. My brother, being the entitled, big brother prick he is, says, oh come on, that's her favorite dessert. I always gave her whipped cream, and I respond with, yeah, because she lived outside on an acreage with you, and you probably never noticed. She absolutely cannot have whipped cream, or she will shit all over my place. Well, dinner goes fine, and my brother and his wife leave, and everything is dandy. An hour later, I walk out of my room, and my dog has diarrheas all over our place. On the carpet, on the couch, and the worst one was on me and my family's shoes. Are you freaking kidding me? My brother had obviously secretly fed her whipped cream when I wasn't around, completely disregarding what I had told him. I call my brother furious and tell him what happened, and he denies saying he fed her whipped cream and then proceeds to say, even if I did feed her whipped cream, it's my dog and I know that's her favorite dessert. I've been feeding it to her for years and it didn't make her sick. I literally hung up the phone right then and there. He's such a prick. I feel bad for my dog and my wife. Just so entitled of him to do that. I'm still seething and it's been a week, but I had to vent. My wife is mad too, but not nearly as furious. I think she has a soft spot for my family, but that is beside the point. I'd have flipped out. I have no patience for people like this. Oh, it's your dog? When are you taking it home then? Right. You aren't, so it's not your dog. If you're in my house, you do what I say, or you don't come in the house. Clear? Crystal? Fantastic. It's your dog? Okay, when are coming over to clean up its mess? It's time to take the dog to the vet and get her chipped if she isn't already. Having your name on the papers at the vet's means you have proof you are the one financially responsible for the dog and that the dog lives with you. When your brother comes to visit, put the dog somewhere safe so he can't feed the dog whipped cream. Also make sure there's no whipped cream in the house. It's not like my brother wants to steal custody of my dog. It's just the entitlement he has with everything in regards to me. It's crazy that we're adults, but he still treats me like I'm his little bro. My ex-friend won't stop slandering me and destroying friendships. So last year I ended a toxic friendship with a girl who I'd known for over 20 years. We had our ups and downs, but she started emotionally blackmailing me to divorce my husband. In addition to that, she was dating a guy who was in a band with a man who literally tried to kill my dog and threatened me. I couldn't be friends with her anymore for these and other reasons, like tearing me down, insulting my intelligence, and constantly trying to manipulate me into agreeing with everything she did and said. I was a weak little pushover and I recognize that and do not deny it. I was scared to end the friendship because in the past, she had brutally slandered me and hurt relationships in my life. But finally, I just did it and calmly ended the friendship. She promised me she wouldn't try to hurt me, but within days she sent a deeply inappropriate email to my place of work, vehemently telling me what a terrible, disgusting person I was and threatening me. I immediately blocked her on everything to protect myself, but it wasn't enough. Within months, I was hearing about her slander and lies, and it was beyond disturbing. She lied so much I can't even understand how she sleeps at night. She even claimed it was her who ended the friendship, which is like those petty people who get dumped and then try to tell everyone they dumped the person. I didn't respond in any way. I have a mortgage, good job, and lots of responsibility with a farm to manage. I wrongly assumed she would stop and get tired of slandering me, but she didn't. She still is doing it. I've lost 2 significant friendships because of this slandering. And while I understand that those friends weren't healthy for me considering they ghosted me because of slander, it still hurt. Then I got a cruel message after getting major surgery from a shared friend, literally shredding me apart. This was from a person I had welcomed into my home earlier that year and gone out of my way to host kindly and generously. But I didn't respond to that either. I simply deleted it and moved on. But this girl won't stop. I just want her to forget about me, but she won't. Her hatred is unreal. The lies have distorted me into this absolute monster when I'm not. I'm autistic and an addict in recovery and survived severe childhood sexual abuse. I am slow to anger and allow people to trample me. My family was part of a cult. And despite all of this, I've done whatever I can to be a kind and gentle person. But my patience with this is gone. I want to sue her for slander and defamation, but I just can't gather the courage to do it. I regret the friendship so much. She used and abused me, and when I didn't obey her demands for my private life, she threw a massive tantrum and won't stop trying to hurt me. She claims I almost destroyed her life, which is actually comical considering I simply ended a toxic friendship and never contacted her again. I didn't email her work. I didn't slander her to anyone. I didn't talk about her to our mutual friends. I acted like a 34-year-old adult woman. I don't even know why I'm writing this besides to warn people. If you know in your gut someone is bad news, walk away. Do it before I did because you may end up in a similar nightmare. I just want to live, and she won't leave me be. It's obsessive and creepy at best and illegal slander at its worst. Talk with a lawyer. They can start with a cease and desist letter and go from there with a slander lawsuit if she doesn't stop. Save all of these texts, emails, or social media posts as well. You can stand up for yourself, and I have faith in you. Yes, lawyer up. Create a foo file. Keep in there every text, email, or anything else where you can prove that she has said things that were lies. Then either go to an attorney. And don't delete anything else. You need to compile all the evidence that you can. Yes, stop deleting everything and start collecting everything she has done and will do. Maybe see a lawyer or go to the police and ask how to get a restraining order or something like this. She nuts. I'd at least talk to a lawyer and see if you can get a cease and desist letter sent to her. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.